Game 1 of my Title Tuesday, I was playing against Macho Jogo, who is a FIDE master. And we saw a French defense, exchange variation with this idea of going knight f3 and then c4. And then this bishop b4 check line, which I've been working on a bit recently. So everyone seems to be playing it for some reason. Yeah, they do this idea where they wait until you move your bishop and take on c4 to try and make you move twice. And you put the bishop on e3, and they can do weird stuff with knight g4 and try and put pressure on here in some lines.
Well, presumably that would expose f7 if they just grabbing
you. So I don't think they can
also
really
there's
go for
queen,
this
maybe
away.
queen b3 ideas sometimes, taking queen b3, take the bishop.
Exactly. So I have ideas. So they go bishop d6, just retreating. Sometimes they take the knight off and then plonk a knight onto e4. I've seen that as well. But bishop d6, just saving his bishop. So just simply castle. So this is just all sort of standard development. And then here I made a mistake in my position, which I think was a fundamental error.
You know, the first move that comes to mind here is I would think about playing up h3 to stop bishop g4.
h3 seems a bit slow because, I mean, I understand that you want to stop this bishop g4 idea and that's important, but why can't we just go knight g5 immediately?
Yeah, I mean, that was okay. You know, give me a chance. You know, I was trying to one move at a time. I was actually going to suggest that move as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I reckon you would. That's fine.
Now, rook e7, and then maybe can even play, let me think. There must be a good move here. But he could go knight e5, but then he's got a bishop h2 trick at the end.
Have we got time to play queen b3?
Queen b3, if he defends it, is there then maybe queen e8? Maybe you could just play something like queen c2, threatening knight d5, and if h6, maybe there's even a knight f7, queen g6 idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a complicated position, but basically knight g5 perhaps gives white
also, but what's wrong with h3? I just like h3 strategically speaking. I think you need to develop more patience. So
yeah, I think just stopping this bishop coming is good. I think knight g5 is better because it's more active, immediately creating threats.
It's true that bishop g4 is always annoying for white in these kind of positions, you know, because.
But I think in this point.
Really drop the bishop back to e2 to break the pins. So you went rook c1. Doesn't look that bad. Rook c1, and he went.
It was panicking a bit, yeah. And the thing is, he just gains a bit of activity now. And again,
bishop d3 looks very, very odd to me. I don't like that move at all.
Yeah, it just feels very bad. This was me panicking, and I think I was saying on my stream at the time, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, why are you panicking? You're only playing blitz. You should be having fun. What are you panicking for? You're not at the top of the skyscraper.
Okay, but we need
panicking about what?
Still need a move here. What do you suggest?
Okay, I'm going to suggest, you know, I mean, if you wanted to be really safe, I mean, g4 is always an idea here, but the problem, I think that's probably too risky in this particular position because, I mean, you could actually play it because g4, let's say he went knight g4, hg4, bishop g4, bishop e2, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it can't directly mate you, and then you're going to consolidate the extra piece.
Yeah, I guess this bishop's quite nice controlling this g5 square.
I will be a little bit worried about moves like rook e6 or... Yeah, rook e6 actually I'll be very worried about because idea of maybe just going... But maybe here you could play... I don't know, knight g5 you have rook e3 maybe, and then g5 is hanging. Yeah, I'll be worried about it.
Can we play a move like knight to e5, or is that...
Well, you can probably just take on e2 and then go and take on e5 and do some rook g6 move, and then queen's coming into h4 very quickly.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if I can then take with the knight. And, okay, maybe... I guess maybe
that makes sense. Right? I don't know. I miss knight takes. Yeah.
Because if you have to move this bishop away, I can trade the queens.
Yeah, it's fine for white. Yeah.
I mean, you've got some pawns.
Well, no, at this point you do have 3 pieces. So actually, I mean, 3 pawns for the piece. So probably it's actually still unclear. But yeah, if we go back, yeah, I mean, also instead of, but that sort of thing you might want to play.
Yeah,
it's more dynamic, like Bishop E2. I mean, just to give you an example, Zoe, I had this game I had at the British Championship just finished. I played David Eggleston, and he was some position where he just didn't play dynamically enough. And sometimes you have to play with a bit of vigor. You know, you have to play with a little bit of elan. And like the move G4 is, you know, you got to fight for the initiative. And if he goes back to G6 and the bishop, you know, maybe sometime later on, you know, you might be able to play knight H4 or...
yeah, I like this idea. Grabbing the bishop pair, maybe...
grabbing a bit of space on the king's side.
F4, F5 at some point.
Obviously, the critical move is knight G4. So whether you want to go G4 there, I don't know. And
yeah.
maybe bishop E2 is safer with the idea of G4.
Yeah.
And you've got more defensive resources on the king's side. Okay.
Yeah, so this was me panicking, not keeping
bishop
a clear hand
is
of a plan.
like a nothing move.
Yeah, and then it was basically me trying to go for some weird plan of this, but it never even works because there's always bishop G6 anyway, so it was just a terrible, terrible plan. But
so A6 G4. So this is where I'm wondering why he can't just take anyway. I don't quite understand.
He probably could have taken. He did a couple of moves later, I think.
I mean, I didn't go Queen G4 at the end. Isn't that just winning?
So knight takes and then queen takes.
And
yeah.
Then just pick up the knight.
Yeah. He could have just done that.
Yeah, that's
they went bishop G6. And again, I just missed this. My position's just completely terrible. A3. I mean, we'll follow through, but it's not really that much to see. G5 I thought was quite a nice move by him. He wants to be able to bring his rook across. And I'm completely losing. There's just nothing I can do. Because if I ever move this knight, then queen H2 is a problem. So I took the pawn just to kind of be like, well, G4 is annoying anyway. Rook E6. Here, one of my viewers suggested D5, but the problem with D5 is that they can just play Rook G6 because if I take
hang on, go back after Rook G6. Can you go knight E4 maybe? Oh, but then knight E5 might be an issue.
Yeah, I think this was the problem.
No, but hang on, knight E5 I can still play. Maybe knight H2. But yeah, I must admit, this doesn't look very good. Like F6 looks good for back here.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of moves.
No, F6 I Rook C3 actually. This is not over.
Yeah, but why can't we just move this knight to say D3?
Yeah.
Because if you take on D6, then I take here first and then take here. And then if you don't do anything, I take here.
Well, you have F4, but it looks terrible.
Well, F4 worst comes to worst. You literally just take the rook, right?
Yeah, but then
but yeah, so that's just... basically, my position is just terrible. And he had this nice forced mate here. So that was a really sad start. But to be fair, I wasn't warmed up at all. I was not ready for...
Who was that? Where was that guy from?
Spain.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Yeah.
Mucho Jogo, right? Okay, so what's the next game?
So that was game 1. So game number 2 was Master Leo 2018, who's an international master. And he played d4, d5, bishop f4. I think at this point I was just like, I hate the London. Why is everyone playing it against me?
People are such sheep, you know. They're such sheep. They just follow fashion, you know.
I actually got a really good position in this game, if I remember correctly. It
looks like I think he
took immediately.
It was a good opening choice. Knight c6. Take. That's correct. Yeah, this all looks fine. Castles.
Yeah, this looks. And then so he isolates my pawn, but I can immediately trade it back with d4. I was quite pleased.
Yeah, this already looks like equalising move. Because if knight a4 early, he had bishop b4 check instead.
Yeah, that was my whole plan.
That's an important point there. If you played knight a4 in those positions, but if he'd already castled there, maybe knight a4 would be annoying.
Yeah,
then you
exactly.
have to go bishop there with something like b6.
Yeah, but the point is because
but
it's
now
king
you have
still
bishop
have
b4. This is important detail, and then you can take on e3.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd point out to our 2 viewers and his dog.
But yeah, so I just equalised immediately. He trades off, and I was feeling quite comfortable about this position.
Wow, that's a terrible move.
Yeah, but the problem was I wasted too much time calculating here to work out bishop takes b2.
You should just play. That's the thing, right? Zoe. So what's your name again? Zoe. Blitz chess is it's all about intuition. You know, I would just go bishop b2 in blitz game. I just know instinctively feel it's the right move. Maybe you need to play more 1 minute chess, and just like anyway, carry on. Rook b1, knight d5.
But yeah, I spent too long calculating this, but it does work because of this idea of bishop c3.
Yeah, it should be good, right? And then middle rook, yeah.
So I was playing really well at this point. I just had like no time. Bishop f5, beautiful move. Rook d1, and then I played a move instantly because I was low on time, and then realized I had a winning move.
Can I suggest a move?
Yeah.
Bishop c2.
That's not actually the best move. The best move is bishop d3, which I saw immediately after I played
my move. Right.
It's absolutely beautiful because obviously they can't take because of this mate, so they have to move their king. We take here, and they can't even take our knight. Because if they take with the rook, there's this same problem.
And if you take with the bishop, you have rook d8 and then
rook a d8, and then gang up on this. And as soon as like one of the bishops moves, we take.
This would have been an amazing win. Yeah. Bishop d3 check. Yeah.
But I literally played a6 instantly because I was low on time, and then I saw immediately afterwards I could have done that. So that was really frustrating.
You're low on time already. You've done nothing. I mean,
yeah, that's the problem.
Are you like a slow sort of turtle or something?
But yeah, basically I was just like, got very low on time, and I was just playing this point, but I was still winning, right?
Why not knight c6 instead of knight c2?
Yeah, no, again, after I played knight c2, I said on my stream, I was like, I should have just played knight c6, I don't know what I'm doing.
So knight c2, and then he took, and they went rook a7. Yeah, now he's made.
Now it's just like basically fairly equal. Bishop d3.
With the 2 bishops, though, I think tactically in a blitz game, it's probably easier to play.
That's a fair point. It's more of a practical thing, especially with
not an a3's a bit stranded as well, you know.
This open g file as well.
Knight c4 looks like a good move.
Bishop f4. Rook a2, invading.
Yeah. Also, even knight d2 might be a move there. Maybe knight d2. And then if he takes that with a rook, and if he goes king g2, maybe something like knight d3, maybe. Should be okay for black. Come back to c5.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's probably still equal, but, you know, shouldn't have any problems. So, presumably here you lost on time.
Yeah, I lost on time. It was a bit sad.
I thought you get increment with...
It's only 1 second. It's really sad. I think they've changed it. I swear it used to be like 3+2 or something, right? It's now 3+1.
Maybe you should like focus on the games and don't stream.
Nah, streaming's great fun. But yeah, I think that was an interesting game where I definitely had really good chances and I was playing well, but I just played too slowly. That was the problem. And that's something I need to
I guess by here now you're worse anyway because you've got a bishop h6. Maybe.
Yeah. But if I'd seen this bishop d3 idea earlier and like before playing a6 rather than immediately after playing a6, then that would have been a really nice way to finish that game off. So definitely encouraging play.
Well, wouldn't you have just lost on time anyway, right?
No, because I would have had enough time to win from this position, Danny.
Yeah, but I think a piece up against an IM is probably about 50-50, isn't it?
I reckon I would have won it. I still have pressure on his king. Anyway, so that was game 2. So moving on to game number 3 against the King Doctor. So this time we see a Caro-Kann, and I go for this sort of accelerated pan of attack. Standard theoretical stuff, and he plays g6, which I've actually looked at recently because I had a game over the board recently with this sort of thing, and it's not very good for black in my opinion.
I thought it was a main line, one of the main lines.
The problem is that I can basically get d6 and trade off my pawn in a favourable way.
Okay.
So knight b7, so here d6.
Oh, that's an interesting move, yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is that I'm not trying to hang on to this pawn. If they just capture it, then I'm trading it off in a favourable way. And it should just be roughly equal position, maybe some slight chances for me, because I know what... I know.
And if they go like e6 and try and round it up with a queen?
They don't really want this pawn on e6, I don't think, because they want to have developed their bishop to f5 or g4 first. It is something I've been looking at with a computer before, because I had it after.
Maybe then you go d3 and bishop f4, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, basically. Oh, that's quite a nice idea. We defend this and then go for this. But yeah, so he just blundered immediately with knight b6, so obviously I just take on e7.
They're not very good, these players.
So I was just a pawn up. The problem in this game is my endgame was terrible more than anything. So he then started literally playing instantly to try and flag me because he knew he was doing worse, which is kind of sad. But I did the right stuff for a while, right? We're just a pawn up.
Can't you play more aggressively there? I mean, I would think...
No, there's no need to... This is me we're talking about, Danny. That's not a good idea. I think
Bishop g5, come on, that's like an automatic move.
No, it's too risky.
Imagine a Feroja or Magnus Carlsen in a 1 minute match going to go bishop e3. They're going to mince out bishop e3. They're going to go bishop g5 and then have like some pressure on the king side. You know what I mean? Come on, start to play proper chess. You're trying to get good at chess.
It's not threatening anything.
You're playing girly chess.
How are we following up with it?
Chess. Well, like queen d2. And if they go h6, you can go bishop g3, round to h4, put some pressure on the queen. Come on. What are you doing? It's horrendous. Bishop e3 is probably the worst move I've ever seen.
He was playing instantly, and I was just trying to...
Knight e5, Zoe, knight e5. Bishop c2, that's just
I'm pretty sure when I checked afterwards, bishop c2 was the best computer move, so...
I don't care what the computer says. Knight e5 is an auto move. Screw the computer. They haven't taken over yet.
F7.
We still have time.
But then you see, if I hadn't played bishop e3, knight e5 wouldn't have been a possibility.
I find bishop c2 a bit weird because isn't that?
I was just trying to trade off pieces.
Okay, it's not a bad move, but it just seems to lose. I think you should be fighting for the initiative. Maybe this is your mistake when you're playing against these guys.
I need to stop panicking so much, basically. Yeah, bishops are traded. Wet. Some knights are traded. Queens are traded. And then I just play a really poor endgame, basically. I'm a pawn up. I need to do some endgame work. We'll get Deveretsky out before tomorrow. Yeah,
endgame work, analysis work, chess work. How the hell? Yeah, so you've actually done it the correct way, and now you just pawn up for nothing.
I just didn't know how to do this endgame, and I played it badly, and he had more time than me. So I brought my king over here, which was
one thing I would do maybe is I would play... At some point, I would play g4.
Yeah. This is what I looked at afterwards. You need to start expanding a bit and cutting the knight off.
Yeah, because if he brings a knight around to d5, you always have bishop d2 anyway.
Yeah, and now I have ideas of maybe playing king here when f5 isn't a problem.
And and sometimes also knight e1 to c2 to e3. You know.
Yeah, I was just too worried. I was just trying to stop his king from coming here, but it's not really a problem, is it? That's the point.
If you can stop the king coming there permanently, but it's quite hard to maintain the king on c4 because he's always got like b5 like this. So you went king c4.
Yeah, and the problem is now he brings his knight to good squares with tempo and wins.
Why didn't you carry on with that plan? Sorry, when you went knight e5, this is horrendous, right? Why didn't you go like king a5 or something? Because if you're going to play like this, you've got to at least be consistent, right?
I think I was worried about bishop f6 coming for here.
Okay. It
just felt a bit risky.
But it still feels more consistent to play like that. Okay, just bishop d2.
Okay, so we get the check.
King a4. I don't really risk it. How can you get mated here? It's really the game.
It was just something that was worrying me a bit. It's not even so much about mated, it's maybe he can start pushing these pawns now, right?
Okay, king back. Yeah, but in the game, didn't you run into some knight of, a4? A4?
No, maybe this is an improvement. But yeah, I was just worried about this idea.
Well, it's true that he should probably just try and play, solidly. But
yeah, I just lost this
Yeah,
pawn, and
hanging
then
G2. But hanging, even in the game. Okay, why did you come back? Why did you come back to C3?
I was aiming to try and trap his knight. Bishop C3 is actually a good move, apparently.
Right. So he went G5. Oh, so you want to bring the king? Maybe Bishop D2 there, and then really you have got the knight trap now.
No, King F5 is right, but after knight F4, you have to play H4.
Ah, right.
And then the idea is that after H4, then we play Bishop D2 when they won't be able to take on.
So presumably you're still clearly better, are you?
Oh, it's slightly better for white, yeah.
Okay, but you went. What did you do instead?
Bishop D2 immediately. He
just decided to give up another pawn. Like say, it's not enough. I want to give up all my pawns.
Yeah, it was a very
after knight 3, you couldn't just go bishop E3 somewhere?
Yeah, I could. I was very, very low on time, to be fair. I had like a couple of seconds because I think.
But then he can always bring the knight back.
I lost on time after, but yeah.
Okay. So that was not great technique.
No, I need to work on my end games, but it was a decent opening and middle game, I think.
Yeah.
So round 4 is against WFM Lama Champetre. And finally I got a win in this game. It's a bit of a spoiler, but very exciting. So we see another sort of D4 opening. Oh yeah, Danny, I've switched to Queen's Gambit Decline instead of the Slav now. Long story. It was based on the inspirational stuff that you told me about Rook E8 and Knight F8 or something.
Oh God, no. It's all turgid, boring stuff. No, don't play the Queen's Gambit Decline. That's absolutely not you at all.
Then I switched to this. But yeah, so basically, I don't know. It was.
This kind of looks like a semi-Slav anyway.
Yeah, basically,
got the same
it's so that I can get into a semi-Slav structure without them being able to play an exchange Slav.
But I think isn't C better here because he's hitting C6, no?
I liked the fact that my bishop was on B7. I think.
Oh no, but C5 isn't so. Yeah, so maybe this is unclear because if knight G5, just knight F6, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so presumably, B3 looks natural.
Yeah, queen here.
Yeah, this all looks normal. C5. Queen 8, yeah. Could you take with a queen maybe, look more natural?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
What were you intending to play?
I hadn't really considered queen takes that much. I think I was looking at some kind of E5 move, actually.
Well, E5 I'll go... Yeah, maybe E5. Can I go Queen D2 anyway, maybe?
And then you always have to be aware of some kind of idea of this pawn coming through at some point.
I want to just hit you down to D5, but like Rook D1 quickly.
Well, I was going to go like Rook D8, Rook E8, E4, E3. That's like my plan.
Yeah, maybe that makes some sense. Yeah, so E5 might be a good move.
I mean, it's what I did against bishop takes anyway. And then I played H6 here, which I don't know whether it is good or not. I was a bit worried about this knight G5 idea. I mean, mainly because I had a plan of going F5, which turned out to be really, really terrible. So maybe I should just literally sit on the position and play something like Rook D8 or Rook E8. Maybe Rook E8.
Rook E8 looks like a natural move.
Yeah, that would probably be
over protecting E5 and also preparing for moves like knight F6 if she goes knight G5.
Yeah, exactly. So I have
maybe Rook AD1 will be played, but maybe I
can bring the other rook to D8 at some point.
So Bishop E7 can be a useful move sometimes, hitting the queen, you know. Yeah,
that was something else I was looking at. So I think Rook E8 might have been an improvement on H6, but it was because I had this plan of F5, which it turns out was actually terrible. But
it looks too risky because there's so much going on in the center.
Yeah, I didn't consider how terrible it was, and then I just made a massive blunder, but she like missed her move. So I went F4. I mean,
so let me guess what the move is for white here, right? So in this position, she went A4.
She actually thought for like 2 minutes before playing A3 as well. I don't understand.
Okay. Let me guess what the move is. Okay, one move that springs to mind is some move like knight d4 with the idea of knight b5, and then if she takes e8's hanging, but then there might be a knight f6 move.
It's a lot simpler than that.
Okay, don't tell me. Maybe she could just take, because if you take with a rook, then e8's hanging.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking
the rook.
Correct.
And if I take with the pawn, she takes here.
Yeah, and if knight f6, then there's going to be some probably just queen g6 move, which is annoying. Because if you take, you still have like bishop f6 moves. Or
yeah, exactly. Bishop f6 is a potential idea. So yeah, basically that was just a terrible move by me to play f4.
I mean, the thing is, sometimes you actually have to go for like your most forcing moves. Especially at blitz, you should always think in terms of checks and captures. And a3 is a non-forcing move.
Yeah, that was just a terrible move on her part. I'm still like worse off here, but I get some play. Knight f6, queen g6, e4, knight h4, e3, and again she misses something here.
Instead of knight h4, because she had taken on f6.
I think knight h4 is fine, but she has better moves here.
What about knight f5 as an option?
Possibly.
Or maybe just take on e3, right?
Yeah, maybe taking on e3, I'm not sure. But basically you can just play around the fact that these are hanging.
Bishop b7.
So I think you can just take here.
Yeah. It's all a bit of a bluff, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Why don't you take on d6 then?
Bishop b7's losing though. That's what she played, it's losing.
Ah, right.
Because I take on f2 and now I'm suddenly completely winning.
Yeah, so king f2, you took.
And then here I just panicked and missed the really easy way to win.
Oh, bishop g3, and then if she takes 9.
Yeah. That's discovered.
Nice.
So that's the easiest way to win, and I missed that. But still, I went for this to force the king here so I could take. And I'm still winning at this point. Rook f2 was good. Rook takes e1. Queen d7 was quite a nice move.
Yeah.
Rook e4 check.
Wow.
And then here I went back here, but I think again.
Why can't you just go rook f5?
I think rook takes b2 is meant to just be fine.
Right. You're not worried about. Oh no, knight e6 is pinned. Right.
Yeah.
But if it goes rook d6, sorry, after rook b2.
I can't remember. I just remember the computer saying that rook b2 was winning. I think you can just give this up. Or maybe you can even take on f5 as well.
Why can't you just take on f5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like the simplest way to win, right? And then, oh no, hang on. Sorry, I forgot about rook f5. Yeah, screw that.
No, it works because then we go rook e6. This is the point.
Oh, okay, but that's not so easy to see, yeah?
Yeah, it's not so clear, but it works, apparently.
So queen h5, you just go g6.
Yeah.
And then allow the capture and then take the rook. And eventually you're going to run away. So that makes some sense.
I went rook e2, bishop takes g7, rook h2.
Wow.
And then
h5 is the idea.
She lost on time. Well, she lost on time in this position. I checked it afterwards. h5 actually losing. There's only one move here that holds the draw.
Okay, don't tell me. There's only one move here that what?
Holds the draw, I think.
Okay, don't tell me what it is. I'll be able to find it. I'm a genius.
Well, bear in mind I had like less than 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
No. 3, okay, I admit.
There's not enough time. There's not enough time.
No, don't tell me. Let me work it out.
Not enough time in this video, I'm afraid, Danny.
Okay, what is it then? I don't know.
Queen e6.
Oh, queen e6. Ah, right. Very clever. Yeah, it's not obvious. Yeah.
But anyway,
I guess you get that by process of elimination.
I think this was a pretty decent game. She did lose on time at this point.
Okay.
I think I played well overall. It's a shame I didn't find the way to convert it with the position, but I got a win, and that's what matters.
Nice.
So game number 5 was against candidate master chess LH19, and I managed to get a draw, so I was very pleased. He played the Petrov, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do against the Petrov anymore, so I, for the first time in my life, was like, I will play a 4-knight Scotch. Obviously, it paid off. I got a draw. Yeah, that was the first time I ever played it in my life. I knew a little bit of theory, having played as black in these sorts of positions. Yeah. And this knight e2 idea, which someone played against me in a similar position, and did quite well. So that's where I got that idea.
Bishop g4 or bishop d6, yeah.
h3.
b3 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think. And then I went for this c4 idea because I was just trying to like break in the center, mess things up. h6, bishop h4. I wasn't really worried about g5. I think this is just completely fine for me.
Yeah.
d4 was a blunder by him because I can just take it. And I think his original idea had been to come here, put pressure on this.
You forgot about nice.
Exactly.
Forget about Dre. You forgot about Dre.
And then he traded off.
Oh my god, this is horrendous.
So I'm a pawn up, and I have the bishop pair. So I think I was actually doing semi-okay. And then, yeah, this is where I couldn't really come up with a plan at this point. So again, it's sort of reaching kind of endgamey type positions when I don't really know how to continue.
Maybe you should just play king f2. Always a good idea to improve the king.
Yeah, I think there's nothing. The computer liked g4, stopping any kind of h5
yeah,
or
that makes
h5. Then
sense.
king f2, king f3 afterwards.
Yeah.
But I went for h4.
And maybe g4 at some point, yeah.
c5, and then bishop d3 again. I'm just low on time and playing bad moves, which kind of sucks. Again, I might as well just continue with this
plan. You don't play calmly enough.
Yeah, I was full on panic mode.
You're a panic merchant, yeah.
And basically, we saw a load of trading off. And then I'm a pawn up, but this position is just completely dead drawn. And we play out the draw. Like, there's nothing I can do.
But still, he's a FIDE master, so not a bad result.
Yeah, exactly. Candidate master, but he's like a 2300 on Blitz. Decent player. But yeah, I need to work on my end games. But yeah, so still pretty pleasing to getting some points against some of these strong players. Okay, so round 6 was against National Master Federico Litti, whatever. And we saw a Vienna, which I've been working on. So I knew some vague theory. With this idea of going d4 and trading off. Again, this was another one where I got a really nice position. Like, he played bad stuff, right? Knight b4 here.
Yeah.
King d1, c5. Wow. This is the kind of play you want me to be doing, right?
Yeah, it's more dynamic, yeah. I mean, even knight d5 there, I presume, would be a good move as well. But
yeah, I think c5 makes sense first. And then I could actually... I maybe should have played knight d5 here.
Well, knight c6 also looks good.
Yeah, knight c6 is just good. I just miscalculated and I took here because I forgot about the fact that after knight c6 there's queen c3. But he'd pre-moved queen c3 as well. He literally pre-moved it. So if I'd played knight here, he would have pre-moved this and boom, he would have had to have resigned.
Oh, you should have... Yeah, you should have, like...
Would have been so funny. But yeah. But my position's still...
Yeah, a lot of these people, they're a bit cocky. That's the thing, yeah.
So bishop e6, queen d2, and then here I made a real error, but there's some nice moves here. See if you can find... I mean, there's a few good moves, but what would you play here as black?
Okay, one move that would actually spring to mind is actually the move f4. But maybe that's a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, maybe even g5, because his plan is to go knight f4, but which actually can't do yet. But yeah, maybe a move like f4 or.
Well, of my analysis afterwards, I came to the conclusion that I think the best move is queen h4.
With the idea of castles queen side, yeah.
We just put.
Yeah, I think f4 is a bit slow. I mean, you should be playing with the pieces here.
But again, I just like missed how annoying it was.
But when you say your analysis afterwards, do you mean when you check with the engine?
Yeah, well, there were a few moves, but out of all the ones that Engine listed, the one I thought looked practically best was Queen H4. But there were other. It basically wanted any kind of queen move where we could then castle. But Queen H4 looked nicest because you're putting pressure on the bishop still.
But you went instead. You took, which is a terrible move.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, and then I went here, which is also terrible. But I was like, I'm gonna run my king over here.
Why are we even analysing these terrible games? I should be looking at Naka's.
Oh, I had a great comeback in it though. It was just really shit that I lost some time again. In a winning
Actually, it's probably more entertaining watching Nakamura's games because they're like
he was playing 2 games at once in Untitled Chapter. But now that I'm suddenly actually doing okay, right?
How's he playing 2 games at once? I didn't realise it was a simultaneous.
He was playing Title Tuesday and playing some other, I think, Chess Super League or something at the same time.
Oh, right.
But yeah.
This F5 check? Yeah, it actually seems okay for you now.
For this tactic, rook takes e5.
Wow, that's clever. So the question is, how did you end up losing anyway?
I lost some time in a winning position.
Oh, well, there's a surprise. Why not Queen G7 there, Zoe?
Oh, wait, because I had like 1 second.
Yeah, but Queen G7 would have been safer, right?
Yeah, I know it's safer, but I was playing like straight away because I didn't have time to even consider.
I mean, presumably you must be winning because he has to get out of rook at some point.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, I'm still completely and utterly winning, right? Anything really works.
I guess so, but well, no, he's got a bit of play though with the queen. I mean,
apparently he actually doesn't though, because I can just run. I did look at this afterwards.
No, because if Queen F5 again, you have Queen F6 with the king on F.
But basically, we hide the king here
Queen
somehow.
G6. Yeah, you can put the queen on G6 on some lines.
So there's some line where it was like takes and then King H6 and then they don't have.
But
anything.
It's practically, that's what I mean. Practically, I would have just gone Queen G7. You wouldn't have even had.
I think it's something like Rook C8, and if they take and take and then here and then they run out of checks.
But can't they go Queen G5 check? Oh, because you go Queen G6, Queen E7, King H6, maybe. He still runs out of checks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Queen E3.
And it's just winning. But yeah, sadly I lost on time. But I mean, there were errors in that game, but also I think there's definitely encouraging moments. Okay, so game 7 was against candidate master MRNTZ Chess. I don't even know how you pronounce that. But this was again a line that I've been working on recently with this like D4 and then E5 push. Trying to go for more active play, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, this is all like standard opening stuff I've been looking at. Putting some pressure down. And then there's always these ideas where if they ever take on E5, then we can throw in this move, which is quite nice.
And then take out a knight and get some kind of grip. Bind, yeah?
Yeah, so I have actually been studying this stuff. I've done some kind of studying. But yeah, then I just e takes f6 must be bad. There must be a better move here.
Can you go? Why don't you like hit the rook somehow? Something like bishop a3, kind of.
That's an interesting idea.
Whenever you say that's an interesting idea, I get the impression you don't think it's an interesting idea.
No, I actually do think that's an interesting idea. I quite like that.
Why don't you go rook f7?
Yeah, I think rook f7 would be the response.
But maybe you can go like rook e1, and if he takes an f3, go e6 win the exchange.
Yeah, this is what I thought your idea was, which is why I quite liked it.
Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Well, it is now, but it probably wasn't before. Yeah, I mean, I guess you should be doing well here. Yeah, I mean, you know.
But yeah,
taking doesn't look too bad. Oh no, maybe it does. But why do you take? No, come on. Why are you taking again? That's horrendous. Just take back.
Oh no, this is even worse. Come on.
Queen d5. How bad is this?
Oh wait, no, they took with the rook. Sorry.
King h1 maybe. Oh, he's got rook f3, right?
Maybe.
No, rook g6.
Yeah, and we don't have time to play like bishop here. Yeah, this is terrible.
I still don't like taking. I feel that just gives him time.
Well, I thought I was actually doing okay here. It was here that I played bad stuff. Because I'd forgotten about the fact that because he's going knight a5, this was the whole, I need to figure out what their plan is. He's going knight a5 because he wants to force my queen away so that he doesn't have to defend this, so he can play queen f6 or queen, like, right? And I didn't think about that. And if I had, I would have played queen d1, which is just slightly better for white. I think it's about plus 0.5, with the idea of going bishop
maybe
d3
f4
next.
sometimes as well, yeah?
Yeah, and we're going bishop
f4
d3
for the
next.
queen on f3 as well.
And this is just slightly better for white. But I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't do the whole prophylaxis thing, so I went queen c2, and then bishop e2.
Oh, so you didn't? I told you to do that on every single move, and you obviously ignored it.
I know. I'm so sad. Oh, and then
what at f4? What at f4? I don't like bishop e3.
No, bishop e3 is good actually. This position's fine.
What, rook e8, and then you went queen d2. Looks
it was an accident. I meant to play queen d3, and I accidentally played queen d2. And obviously,
the queen d3 is still okay, is it?
Yeah, this is completely equal. It's actually really quite interesting because it looks like white vaguely has some chances, but it's basically equal. So what they have to do is they take, and then they go queen g5. It's the only move to hold, with the idea of forking this.
And then rook g1.
Rook here. They take here. And then basically a load of stuff happens, and we end up in a opposite colour bishop endgame where white's a pawn up, but it's a draw because it's opposite colour bishops. So I looked at it afterwards, and I'm annoyed with myself. It wasn't really it kind of was almost a mouser, but I did not mean to play queen d2. I meant to play queen d3, and if I had, might well have been able to hold at least a draw. So that was just sort of mouse computer skills rather than actual chess, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that was game 7. Okay, so game number 8 was against candidate master Gu Nimes. And this was quite funny. So he went e4. I got so excited about the fact that I'd finally have an e4, e5, and mouse slipped e6. So for the first time in my entire life, I was playing a French, and I had no idea what I was doing. But we had a good go at it. I actually think I played it better than some people who've played the French against me, to be honest. I knew about
it's a good idea. Sorry, can I just say, I think it's a good idea to mix up your openings every now and again and play stuff that's different, because it keeps you, it chests your creative game. If you just play the same stuff over and over again, it can get a bit boring at times.
I guess. So
and probably you don't know whether you'll be good at that opening until you actually play it, right?
I actually got a semi-decent position out of this. And
that's what I mean. Maybe you're better at this sort of stuff. I think you should be playing the French, actually.
Well, after this one game, I did lose.
You strike me as a French defence player. Your personality is very French.
Maybe you have to teach me the French at some point.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
A6.
I teach you some French.
No, A6. I've done decently out of the opening. I quite like the position I got, but yeah, A6.
Yeah, but I guess if D4, the main point is after Queen E1, you take on C3. There's a bishop H7.
Yeah. This was the idea that I'm not actually ever threatening to take. Well, can't he just take? Even if he wants. Like, he can even do this, right?
Well, doesn't he lose a piece?
Oh, maybe. I don't really know. Oh no!
This was later.
Maybe I miscalculated that then.
Maybe D4 is correct, because after Queen E1 you can take on C3 and he has to give away a lot of material. Like bishop takes, take with a knight, rook takes, take on B2. I guess it's unclear because his king is actually...
Yeah, probably in blitz this isn't necessarily sensible. But anyway, okay, that was perhaps an idea then. But,
well, certainly now D4. D4,
yeah,
Queen H.
D4 doesn't work now. Yeah, because Queen H3. So I go Queen E7 first, and then I played D4, and now this works.
Right.
H6. This is all fine. Knight A4, and then this is where I missed a winning move.
Okay, don't tell me what the move is.
But you don't have long.
No, okay, all right. Give me a chance, you know. I mean, okay. I'm guessing that it was... have I run out of time already?
Yeah.
No.
You've already used up more time than I had on the clock.
Was it Queen C7?
No, Queen B4.
Oh, Queen B4, right. Well, I probably would have found that if I had more time. You're pressing me too much.
Yeah, but this is...
So B3 presumably gets into a mess with like Queen A3, check, Knight B4 and stuff.
Yeah. And there's always ideas of b5 in some
yeah,
positions
b5,
as well.
yeah. Okay, fair enough. But you didn't play queen b4.
Well, I went e5, uncovering this, and I just missed that he could go bishop c4 check and bishop e6.
Oh, because you're not threatened to take on g5.
Yeah. And then I just played terrible stuff. And here, actually, the two moves that hold are either knight h7 or knight d7.
It really annoys me when people play crap like this, and then they probably think, "Oh, I played a great game," and actually, when you chat earlier, I could have just gone queen b4, and this is just garbage. You know, that's one of the things that annoys me most about chess, when people play rubbish like this, and then they win. They're probably going away like, I played a great game. No, you still made a great game with bishop c4 to e6. Well, actually, mate, it was a load of rubbish. I had queen b4 and I was winning,
Yeah. But yeah, now I was just like playing on increment, and we'll whiz through the moves, but it's not really worth like going into detail. I just had like no time, and he mated me pretty quickly. But that was unfortunate. There were definitely chances there, and given that I had mouse into French, I can't remember, but given that I'd mouse flipped into a French for the first time in my life, I think it was a pretty decent game.
Yeah, good game, well played, yeah.
Okay, so this is game number 9, and I think this is probably the best game in my life. Well, it's definitely the best blitz game I've ever played. I was very pleased with this.
So you haven't had much of a life then, basically.
But I went for this c3 thing that Danny hates, but it works out well for me. Okay.
It's okay. It's like, actually, in this position, I prefer it with the knight already on c6 because it limits her options a little bit. Knight c3. Yeah, d5 makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is horrendous. So this is the best game of your life, where he's already lost after move 9.
Maybe not quite, but it's the best game I've had Untitled Tuesday, probably.
Do you mean the most accurate game?
Yeah, that's probably... Like, I played pretty... I mean, it's quite easy to find good moves, but I played pretty accurate stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then d6 I would play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you played, yeah.
See, I liked the way I played this.
So I'm also playing the most accurate moves. And I would take and go queen, yeah, that's just game over, because you moved the king, bishop f6. That's a nice game, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like sometimes to win quickly, it's often about just playing simple, direct attacking moves. You're not doing anything special. I mean, I've got a book actually at home, which is by John Nunn. It's about, games where you win in like miniatures and stuff, and the reasons why people win quickly.
Maybe this should be put into that book.
Yeah, well, maybe the remake or the update.
Yeah, that was a good game. Okay, round number 10. So 2 more games to go. I was black against Cat Zapto. And yeah, we see it's like a Scotch gambit, right?
If I see any more Scotch gambits or c3 Sicilians, I'll lose the will to live.
Fair enough. I feel like
queen d3 here. I mean, this already looks good for black.
I like my bishop f5 with like threats of this, but yeah, maybe queen d3 is an idea just to like keep this pawn wedge. I like that idea actually. I'll give you that. You've got some good suggestions today.
Well, the thing is, you've already analysed every single game of an engine, so it's kind of irrelevant what my just
only really quickly. I hadn't it was just key moments on my stream.
And maybe queen d5 here I would play. That's what.
Yeah. See, I when I was warmed up a bit, I was starting to find some good moves near the end.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're gonna be like
channeling my inner Danny.
You're gonna be England's next GM, I think.
After Ravi gets his confirmed.
Bishop f4.
Rook d8.
Yeah, bishop e4's good move.
And I grabbed this pawn.
Rook ad1, knight d4.
Oh, I remember this game. This was really tragic. I was winning and then lost. Story of my life. Yeah, so then he gives up this. So now I'm like, what?
Just put the bishop back on d5, yeah.
Exchange up. I kick the knight away.
Yeah, this all looks fine. Yeah.
Bishop
Why don't you just put the rook on d2 though? Why do you even bother with like?
Yeah, that would probably made a lot more sense. To be fair, I don't know why I didn't
Just
do that.
attack pawns and you know. I mean, okay, but bishop e6 is also fine. I don't mind what you did. This is also g5.
Maybe I should have gone for this here, though. Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, of course you should have done, but you're weak at chess, so therefore you didn't.
Because the problem is now he defends that. But still, I'm obviously like better, right?
Well, winning, I would say it's not better. It's just winning. Well, hang on. Why don't you go like put the rook on g6 on c6, but don't even go with the check. Just go rook c6 with the idea rook c2, winning a2. It's all about technique and trying to hoover up as many pawns as possible.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And then king f3, you have rook c2, and then if there's a rook, you take on a2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But as we've always established, you're a weak chess player, so you didn't do that. Well, you just fiddled around with your rooks.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't have any time on the clock. If I had more time, I'd play better moves. But basically, I just stuck my king in a mating net. It was a bit tragic. Look at this, right? Find the worst move on the board.
How not to win a winning position. So maybe your book could be, so you got John Nunn's How to Win in Under 25 Moves. You got Zoe Varney, How to Lose a Winning Position.
Literally. Story
By
of my
playing
life.
the worst possible moves.
Find the worst move on the board, Danny.
I could have just double rooks and
I played it.
1a2. That could be like chapter 1. I could have just double rooks, exchange rooks, and 1a2, but I got made on d8 instead.
But even there, right? King f8 is still winning.
King f8 looks significant.
It's still winning. It's still winning for me. Yeah, they can do this, and I can like just give this up, and then just.
I think somehow you need to train yourself to be able to play that little bit quicker and play at a quicker tempo because you're playing good enough moves in general.
Yeah, I'm just getting myself into a mess of time trouble.
Or if you are getting time trouble, you're not rescuing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we look at the final game?
Yep. So final round was round 11 against a candidate master from England, Gavin Locke. We found that out afterwards. I was black.
Well, you found it out through doing some significant stalking. Yeah.
Go check out my Twitch channel if you want to see how we found it out. Yeah, so you had another London. I'm actually doing quite well against the London at the moment. Maybe this is my inner thing to be. Yeah, so I just do this weird setup because it's just easy moves to play, right? I go for the c4 thing.
C4 looks a bit.
I think their best play is to go bishop b1.
I don't like c4. I don't like giving them the king side. I always like to keep some tension in the centre. C4, I guess it's possible, but it looks a bit weird to me. Can't they just, I don't know, take on c6 or take on d7 and go e4 and just play for the initiative? And no, probably better to take on d7 actually, and then go e4 and then just play for the initiative in the centre.
How do I want to take?
Well, let's say you take with a bishop. I'll go e4.
And I take the queen.
I just feel like, but I feel like white should have good chances here. Maybe even queen h5 as a move. Queen h5 and try and go for the attack.
Go for like
queen h6 and then h4, h5 quickly.
I suppose.
You suppose? You mean yes.
Yes, Danny, I hail you. Your answers are always correct.
Hail me, hail the Gorm. All hail King Gorm. King Gorm of Twitch.
Worse for yourself. Yeah, okay. But we saw this like f6, queen h5, f5 thing. Queen back to e2.
Why go queen e2 though?
I think he was worried about.
Because of t4, maybe knight f6 trapping the queen, maybe. Yeah, queen e2 is fine then.
So I took and went b5.
But now I would go g4 automatically. Just play g4, like go for the hack.
G4. Really?
You don't realise I read the book Mating the Castle King. I'm an expert on such positions.
I just don't believe
No, I just play G4 without even thinking. It's just such a natural attacking move. And you castle queenside, stick the rook on G1. You just,
Maybe I should be reading your book.
Well, maybe he should be reading it.
Do you want to give him a free copy of your book?
No, free is not a bad move, but I don't even think you need it there. Okay, so now
I just continued with my plan.
That makes sense. Okay, knight d4 at some point. I would go knight d4 before trading because
I think trading.
I think knight d4 before trading might give you less options.
I'll go knight c5 anyway.
True. Yeah, it's not so clear. Maybe it's not so clear. So, and then you went,
h5 I don't like. I don't believe in h5.
Looks a bit slow. But it's true if you castle queenside. In fact, if you play b4, b5, it's helpful for black for a counter-attack against queenside.
Exactly. So I'm now getting a counter-attack. That's the point.
So taking looks correct. This is good.
Okay, what's the move here? What's the best move here?
Okay, the best move for black.
Oh, I think there's a few good moves.
Okay, rook b8.
Yeah. See, this
is
knight
c6. It looks counterintuitive, but then bishop a3 and you win the queen with check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, I got one move right.
I just missed how annoying it was because after rook b8 here, he has rook b1.
You went bishop d7, and now this is a game where he lost on time because after g6 he lost on time, did he?
Yeah, he lost on time, but I think the position's equal at this point now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed the chance to win here with rook b8. Also, queen b6 was an interesting idea. There's some weird line where they go knight c2, we go rook b5, queen b6, move this bishop, and then go rook b8 and just like dominate.
Presumably, if he runs with the king d2, it just ends up badly for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you've got a very good play now.
Exactly.
It's true that G4, even though, I mean, there's lines in the anti-Dutch where you go like G4 quickly as well, and with a pawn F5. It's true that that's always slightly double-edged because you're weakening your position as well. But yeah, somehow he misplayed it.
Yeah.
And so it was a long series of games. You played 11 games, far too many to analyse. I certainly won't ever go through that many games again in my life. But well played, Zoe Varney. Well played. Congratulations. Fantastic.
So the sarcasm. But yeah, I got 3.5 out of 11, which I don't think was too bad. There was definitely some encouraging play in there, but a lot to work on still. So fingers crossed next week will go better. Just here to try
the British Championships.
Oh yeah, I've got the British Championships first. Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that.
Thanks for coming along today and helping me out with this analysis, Danny.
That's all right.
Hopefully haven't put you off it.